Well, hey there, YouTube, fellow silver stackers, silver pourers, silver enthusiasts. AG Ender with you here today. And whether you're a subscriber or a first-time visitor, or someone checking out this series because you want to start pouring into wood, whether it be silver or gold or whatever you want to pour, hopefully this helps you. Thank you for stopping in. We are on part 4 of this series here, and we will be in the stamping and polishing phase today. I did run these through the tumbler, so it got rid of majority of the roughness and cleaned everything up nice and shiny there. I've got Missouri, Iowa, and Arkansas here, so we'll get these shined and polished real well. My tumbler, it's just a Harbor Freight $30-40 tumbler, nothing special really about it, but I will show that in a later video. The first step, second step, third step, they're all kind of interchangeable to a point. You can either stamp them now, which I still might, but you can hit them with the polishing wheel here as well, or a Dremel. I go either stamp or polish first. You can use also, if you really want to, sandpaper if you've got some real rough spots, which actually that's usually the first step. I'll get some sandpaper or some of these little spongy kind of polishing pads or sanding pads where they're actually wet dry. So if you want to use water almost like you're doing an auto body work, you can do that. So we'll go ahead and start polishing up one of these and stamp one and show you how I go about that. Let me get a little more set up here. I will come right back. Okay, so we're going to work on the Iowa here first. I'm going to do a little wet sanding, but with these sanding pads, I do have two. They're getting a little worn, but the first one is kind of an 800 to 1000 grit, and the second one is 1000 to 1200. They're not real specific there, but I'll hit those first. And actually, like I said, I'm going to do it with water here, so hold tight, and I will do some time lapse here likely. So just sit back and enjoy. Alright, that looks pretty good there. I could probably get this middle here a little bit more, but we'll kind of work on that while talking. But that's pretty much it for the sanding portion. Yeah, that's a little better now. Got some of that excess little bit off and a little bit smoother there. And you can choose where you want to do your stamping based on the contour here, but usually I'll do it above. I kind of like this part, maybe my 0.999 right there in the middle. Since my personal stamp, I need a little room and I need to be a little flat, I try to avoid the middle. But we will get this dried off and weighed, so hold tight. I'll be right back. Okay, so there is a bit of glare here, but I've got kind of a chamois here for drying cars. So it's not too scratchy, but it will get the job done in the way of drying without undoing the sanding that I just got done there. Tap it off a little bit. More tamp it than rub it, then you make sure you don't scratch it. But as for the weight on this, I just missed it for. It's 3.99. So we'll go ahead and stamp this real quick. See where I can fit my logo stamp on here. Since again, it's almost an inch long and a 1/4 inch or so wide, so it's got to have a nice spot to sit on. That's something else you want to do, especially if you're using wood. Make sure you got something where you can lay it fairly flat. Since these wood pours are so contoured on the back, it's real tough to get them to sit flat for the stamping, especially for a big stamp like this. Smaller single stamps you don't have to worry about quite as much, but these bigger stamps like logo stamps you do. I think up here in this top corner will be just right. You don't have to slam it, but you do have to hit it firm. Sometimes before you move it, rock it around and tap it a little bit so you get the full logo. And this one, I'm going to have to try and get it on there again. One thing you want to be real careful of if you try and stamp a second time is not screwing up your stamping from the first time. So make sure you get it right there in that same spot again. That looks pretty good. I will have to use from my letter stamps here, my punches, the R, because it's kind of cut off right on the edge. I tried to get that there, but didn't quite make it. So let's find that in here. Here's the R. And again, you want to be real careful where you put it so you don't mess up anything previously done on there. There we go. That looks good. And if you want, you can make it a little bit deeper, try and match what you did on the rest of it, but I got this good here once, so I don't want to mess with it too much. I just won't polish that real heavy with the polishing wheel here. And like I said, it was 3.99. There's my 3, and there's my 9. Again, well, maybe not again since I haven't said this, but make sure you're pointed the right way. If you need to, you got a block of wood or a piece of paper, kind of tap the stamping on it. Make sure your letter's the right way before you go and stamp. I got 3, 9, 9. And I just use a nail or a screw for the point. I do have a punctuation set there, but I find this works better since you can pinpoint your spot quite a bit better. I do have my .999 FS stamp here. So we'll go ahead and do that right up there. That's good. And then the OZT are right there, Z and T. You can stamp these however you want. I like to kind of keep things in the same area for weight. The logo stamp can kind of be wherever here, but the weight I like to keep near wherever I put the OZT. There's the O, Z, and T. There we go. I will do a little more stamping on this. We'll do that off camera. This particular order here wants a specific stamping. Also on these now I'm doing the state abbreviation, so I'll get that in there somewhere as well. But we will be right back for the buffer polishing wheel section. So right here I've got the bench grinder with the buffing wheel and some purple rouge here and precious metal cleaning and polishing compound here. So gonna get noisy. I'll put it on first, I'll apply it, and then go through and polish. So we will again do a little time lapse, so hold tight and relax. Okay, you can probably hear me now, but there we go after the buffing wheel. Even shinier, you get that mirror finish in there now, you can see, and all the stamping done. And one thing else, you do the buffer wheel after and you get that polish and the rouge pushed in there, so the stamping kind of pops out a little more. The final step will be with the Dremel. I'll get set up again for that and come right back and show you the final little polish I put on these. So hold tight, see you in a moment. So here we go for the final bit of polishing. I just used, actually, I've seen it before, a little turtle wax rubbing compound. Put a little bit on there with the finger. And then got one of the felt tips here on the Dremel and just polish it right off. So I'm going to speed this up again. So hold tight, see you in a moment. And let's get this focused. Trying to focus on everything else except this. There's so much light back there. But there you go. A couple little scuffs there. I'll work on this a little bit more and clean that up just a touch more. but you get the idea. I'll get all this finished up off camera as well as the other two pieces and come back for a wrap up. So I will see you in a moment. Okay, so here is how we ended up with Iowa, Arkansas, and Missouri. Nice shiny mirrored finish here. You can see the ceiling, see the tablet here. $3.99 on the Iowa. Back there. Got the Arkansas. Again, nice mirror finish at $4.96. The back. And then the Missouri here at 5.02. So, not a bad day here. They all turned out quite well. Have some pictures at the end. The Kansas I did redo. I actually have it here. This will be shown on the other video as well. But this one came out nicely after the re-pour from getting the bubble up. So, there we go. I will catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, comment, subscribe. All greatly appreciated. And I will catch you next time. AG Ender signing off. Have a good night.